welcome back to my channel. Today is July 1st, which means the time has come. If you remember, I made a video last year about this book, which I absolutely loved. It is a children's book based on The Office. Now, there is a Parks and Rec book, which I pre-ordered from Barnes & Noble, actually only like a couple weeks ago. I just received it yesterday. It is by the same author, Robb, Pearlman, illustrated by the same illustrator, Melanie Demmer. It is time to unbox it. I need to make this disclaimer. I have watched The Office so many times. I immediately knew who every character was. I understood all the references. I have only watched Parks and Rec from beginning to end once, and I've never watched reruns. So I need you to know that I did do some Google research and make notes on all of the references. Yes, I did already look at the book. I'm sorry. That had to be done because I wanted to do the show and the book justice. We're still going to look at it together as if I'm unboxing it for the very first time. So here we go. The box. Oh my goodness. I've never seen this book before. It's so beautiful. Parks and Recreation, Leslie for Class President. So this part is pretty easy for me. I can recognize all these people. Here is Tom and Donna on the swings. There is Andy on the slide wearing a mouse rat shirt. That's his band. There's Anne supporting her best friend, Leslie Knope. There's Leslie Knope. Ron Swanson in his Pawnee Rangers uniform. And Ben. Here's the spine. Little brown books. Got Jerry, Chris, and April with Champion, April and Andy's adopted dog. And then this sounds interesting. It says, bring this cover to life. That was not on the other book, so very interested in what that means. Okay, I tried really hard to get the Google Lens thing to work, but it's just not working, and I was getting really frustrated. So we're just going to dive right into the book. Let me show you the inside flaps first. And then we can look at the naked hardcover. So, looking at the characters, we have Ralphio, Jerry, April, Andy, Ralphio's sister Mona Lisa, Donna, Tom, Bobby Newport. Got it? Oh my goodness. It feels like way more characters than The Office, right? I don't know. That's just how it seems to me. Got that spine. Okay. Ron Swanson, Leslie Knope, and Perkins. Ben, Wyatt, Chris. I think this is Craig. I'm pretty sure. Purd, I think? Lil Sebastian. Oh my goodness. Seriously, this feels like way more characters than The Office, but maybe that's just because I don't know Parks and Rec as well as The Office. Okay, let's dive into what these are. Waffles, Leslie's favorite food. These are waffles from JJ's Diner. This badge is for Agent Burt Macklin, which is Andy's alter ego. This is Duke Silver's saxophone. Duke Silver is Ron Swanson's alter ego. We have a Happy Galentine's Day card. Of course, it's Valentine's Day, but for your girlfriends. The hammer. Okay, so the hammer probably refers to Ron Swanson and his love for building things, woodworking, all of that. It could also be a reference to Andy's eye accident when he hit himself in the eye with a hammer. Maybe it's a double Easter egg. We have a raccoon. Leslie Knope, although completely loyal to Pawnee, she was actually born in the neighboring town of Eagleton because the Pawnee hospital was infested with raccoons. This is a horseshoe. Lil Sebastian's horseshoe, to be exact. You can see that, yeah. It says Lil Sebastian on there. We have these stickers / badges for Leslie Knope's City Council campaign. Also a reference to her campaign in the book. These triangles. Okay, I'm thinking they can be two different things. At first, I was thinking confetti. There was a confetti bomb prank on Ben in the prom episode. So at first I was like, oh, that's probably it. But then I remembered the board game that Ben created, Cones of Dunshire, and they had a bunch of these cones in different colors. So that could also be a double Easter egg. I'm not 100% certain in either direction, so you can tell me in the comments what you think it is. Here we have a report card for Leslie Barbara Knope. The instructor is listed as Albright, probably a reference to former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, who advised Leslie over waffles at JJ's. Yes, she did actually guest star on the show. Here are some notes and info right here from the author and the illustrator. Very cool. Pawnee Elementary. Okay, we have our title page with Ron, Anne, Leslie, and Ben, who are the 4 main characters in this book. They're pretty much on every page. Here we have our list of things we're trying to find in the book. Raccoons. Of course, we already know what that reference is. This is the marshmallow Ron Swanson that April made. He was so touched by the detail of his arms being crossed and being angry that he actually got a little emotional, which she pointed out. And he, of course, pretended he wasn't emotional. A waffle from JJ's Diner, of course. This is Mark Brendanowitz. He is the Pawnee city planner and Anne's ex-boyfriend. This is a sign-up sheet for the Pawnee Goddesses. Leslie was told she couldn't join the Pawnee Rangers because she's a girl. So she formed her own wilderness scout group called the Pawnee Goddesses. This is Duke Silver, aka Ron Swanson. Lil Sebastian. DJ Roomba. While this Roomba cleans Tom's house, he has his iPod on it, so aka the name DJ Roomba. This is Tammy 2, Ron Swanson's ex-wife, or rather, one of his ex-wives. He has married and divorced Tammy 2 times. Eagleton, Pawnee's neighboring city and their biggest rival. Orrin, who is April's creepy friend. Mouse Rat, which is Andy's band. Okay, another title page, or rather, probably the title page. Hard to tell, there's a lot of them. Leslie. Alrighty, time to start the book. Got Leslie. A good leader is eager, honest, and responsible, just like me. I'm Leslie Knope, and I'm running for class president at Pawnee Elementary. When elected, I'll help make this school a better place. We all have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and waffles. 2 things. 1, Leslie's love of waffles is in there, of course, her favorite food. 2, Leslie loves politics. That's a huge part of Parks and Rec. So, of course, this whole book is very political. She's running for class president, and there's all kinds of references to politicians and different political speeches. Here we have Ben, Anne, and this is Andy, who's fallen in a pit, which is a reference to the Sullivan Street Pit, aka the Pit, or Lot 48. That was a pit near Anne's house, which was being used by a condo developer, or rather, not being used. It was made by a condo developer, but they went bankrupt, so the project sat unfinished. Vote nope. Okay. Don't worry, we will get to everybody on this page. Lots of characters to get through. There are no waffles here, Leslie, so I'm not very happy, yells Andy. And I fell into this pit. Could you fix it? You bet I can, I declare. In fact, I promise to fill this hole, and when it's done, we'll have a party. Awesome! You've got my vote, says Andy. I'll vote for you lots of times. Everybody gets only 1 vote, explains Ben, but every vote counts. Thanks, Ben. And Anne, you beautiful tropical fish. Thanks for helping me. Please write down, fill in the pit, I say. I think it's when she's running for city council, but it might be before then. On the show, she also promises to fill in the pit. Her calling Anne, you beautiful tropical fish. Anne is her best friend. She is like obsessed with her. She always comes up with these elaborate compliments for her. There's Eagleton. That was on our list of things to find. Here we have the character Garth. Garth was played by Patton Oswalt on the show. He is a local history buff. This is Derek, April's ex-boyfriend. And this is Ben, April's friend and Derek's boyfriend. This is Perd, who was on the front cover. I'm pretty sure that's who he is. He is a journalist and TV host in the city of Pawnee. He has multiple shows. Here we have Leslie and Andy and Ben again, and of course, the pit. We're handing out binders that include all the reasons I'd be a great class president. Another thing she did on the show. There's Mark Brandanowitz, who we were supposed to find. Besides being great at making binders, I'm very cheerful, so I'm positive I'm the best candidate. Bobby is okay too. I think I've run a great campaign, but I'm not sure why they call it a campaign. It's been a cam-pleasure. Oh boy. You want a free Bobby bar? What about my autograph? This is Bobby Newport. He was played by Paul Rudd on the show. He was her city council rival. All right, let's go convince our classmates to vote for me, I say. Did you know that grown-ups call this lobbying? Is that why we're in the lobby, asks Anne. That's exactly right, you poetic and noble land mermaid, I say. Anne loves when I find new ways to say how cool she is. Just then, I see some potential voters. Leslie, Anne, and Ben again. There's the Pawnee Goddesses sign-up sheets. Donna, Tom, I shout. I'd like to tell you why I would make a great class president. Sorry, we don't have time to talk, Donna says. It's October 13th. Oh, right. Happy Treat Yourself Day, I squeal. What's Treat Yourself Day, asks Ben. Donna gasps. Tom falls down. Anne, Ben, Leslie, there's Tom falling down, and Donna. Ben is new, so he doesn't know about our holidays. February 13th is Galentine's Day, August 13th is Haircut Day, and August 14th is Second Haircut Day. But you'd think he'd at least know about Treat Yourself Day. It's when you buy yourself gifts all day long. There's a poster for Bobby Newport's campaign. And then we have a picture of little Sebastian. There's a trophy that obviously went to him. Little section for Team Pawnee. Making our way through the book. Hey, Leslie, Donna says, if you become president, can you get school canceled on all Treat Yourself days? Of course I can, I promise. Donna says, in that case, you've got our votes. And you rainbow-infused space unicorn, please jot that down, I ask. Oh my gosh. Treat Yourself Day sounds like the best day ever. I'm going to celebrate by eating only calzones, and there's nothing my mom can do to stop me. You know how Leslie loves waffles? Ben loves calzones. Alrighty. Then we bump into Chris. Ben Wyatt and Perkins, says Chris. Leslie, Knope, you're running for class president. That's fantastic. Me, I'm just running to the cafeteria. Yes, and when I'm president, I say we'll have Waffle Wednesday. Okay, if you're wondering why I said it like that, Ben Wyatt and Perkins, Leslie, Knope. That's fantastic. That's how Chris talks. That is one of the things my brother and I quote constantly from Parks and Rec. We're always randomly saying, and Perkins. Also, he's like a fitness fanatic, so he's always on the move. Can you promise a gluten-free vegan option, Chris asks. Sure, I say slowly. I promise. That's literally the best news I've heard all week. You've got my vote, says Chris. And you opalescent tree shark. I guess you should write down that promise too, I say. Literally is another thing he says all the time, and another thing that we quote constantly. This one might be my favorite. Opalescent tree shark. Love that. Oh, there's a lot of characters on this page. Okay. I spend the rest of the day handing out binders and making even more promises. I promise Jerry a puppy. I promise Garth will start a Castles and Creatures club. And I promise John Ralphio hip-hop dance classes in gym. I'm not 100% sure who all these characters are, but I'm going to tell you who I think they are. Here we've got who I think is Craig. This one, I think this might be Diane, Ron's third wife, who was played by Lucy Lawless. We've got Leslie. We've got Perd. And because Perd's a journalist, I think this character is Shauna, another Pawnee journalist. It does look just like her. This character, I have no idea. It could be Mark Brandanowitz again, but I'm not sure if they put him in the book a second time looking completely different. If you guys know who this is, let me know. I looked through all the characters. I don't know if it was the guy that Andy Samberg played. I don't know if it's the other other guy in Andy's band, Mouse Rat. It could be someone else that I'm not even thinking of. Let me know, because I am stumped on this one. Over here we have Jerry, obviously. Oren, who's on our find list. Garth. Anne. Jean Ralphio, and his sister Mona Lisa, which, by the way, that's my mom's name. I'm pretty confident this is Tammy 1, Ron's other ex-wife, because that is exactly how she wears her hair. Alrighty. I'm not sure how I'm going to keep all my promises, but it's time to hand in my forms so I can get on the ballot. Leslie has to give her forms to Ron, who will give them to our teacher, Miss Beavers, who will then officially put Leslie on the ballot. I wonder why she can't just give the forms right to Miss Beavers. Why? It's called bureaucracy. I believe Miss Beavers is a reference to Ethel Beavers, who is a court stenographer on the show. Bureaucracy is exciting. It means you get to do lots of extra cool work. I bet feminists like Susan B. Anthony and Ida B. Wells would agree. Actually, my middle name is Barbara, so maybe I am destined to support bureaucracy, which also starts with a B. We have our raccoons. Vote Leslie B. Knope. As you can see by the hair, she's starting to look a little frazzled by all these promises she's making. There is Tammy 2, and of course she's in the library because Tammy 2 is the Deputy Director of Library Services. On my way to give Ron my forms, I see another potential voter. April, I say, can I count on your vote? April rolls her eyes. Ugh, only if you promise to leave me alone. Honestly, April's a lot like me. Very pessimistic, loner kind of character. You bet. So you'll vote for me, I ask? Okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I don't care, she says. I look down at my very long list of promises. I guess I'll write down that one myself. I've made so many promises to so many people today. What if I can't make them all happen? What if I let my classmates down? What if I shouldn't be class president? Poor Leslie. She's such a perfectionist. I shuffle through the door to see Ron. Maybe I shouldn't give my forms to you, I tell Ron. I don't think I can be president. Why not? Ron asks as he puts down his hammer. Because I can't keep all the promises I made, I sigh. Do you know why I like woodworking? Ron asks me. The wood knows exactly what it's supposed to be, and it doesn't need to be more than that. See this birdhouse? It isn't trying to be a harp. Just being a sanctuary for the northern cardinal is enough. So this pep talk here is something Ron does often on the show for Leslie, which is really cool. Even the tone of it matches Ron. This is, of course, his workshop. All these things are references to his love of woodworking. This is a reference to his alter ego, Duke Silver, part of the Duke Silver trio. This paper says, I can do what I want, Ron. That is a reference to an episode where he's asked for a permit. I think it's for hunting or something like that. And this is what he hands to the guy as his permit. I can do what I want, Ron. Such a Ron Swanson thing to do. Here is Marshmallow Ron, made by April. There's hunting references like this outhouse, this duck. This picture right here references Ron's love of breakfast food. He loves breakfast. Leslie, Ron asks, what are the qualities of a good leader? They should be eager, honest, and responsible, I mumble. Well, you were eager enough to make all those promises. You're honest enough to admit that you might not be able to keep all of them. And I know you're responsible enough to try your best. That sounds like a leader to me. Leslie, you are the birdhouse. So you think I'd make a good president, I ask? It doesn't matter what I think. What do you think? I am enough, I say. I can do this. Great, Ron says as he picks up his hammer. Now get out of my workshop. Classic Ron. Gives an emotional pep talk and then says, get out of my workshop. Very close to the end. The next day, Bobby and I give speeches in front of our classmates. He only talks about giving out free candy and tours of the Sweetums factory. I have lots more to say. Sweetums is a candy factory and business that was once owned by the Newport family. That is Bobby Newport and a security guard. I cannot remember if this person was on the show or not. I looked it up. I couldn't find anything. There is Chris, Andy and April, Ben and Anne, all looking on admiringly at Leslie giving her speech. Fellow students, I can't promise you a never-ending supply of candy. I can't even promise that I'll be able to make all my promises happen right away. Or ever. Sorry, Jerry. But I can promise that I'll do my best to make Pawnee Elementary the best it can be. Please vote Leslie B. Knope. I'd never admit it, but I enjoy being part of such a confusing process. I'd like to think I help keep the school running. And I'd never admit it to Leslie, but I'm proud of her. It's a very Ron thing to say. Duke Silver. I was so nervous when the votes started rolling in, but as it turns out, I won. Now it's time to get started on some of those promises. First things first. Leslie and Anne. Very angry Bobby Newport. I am honored to be your president, and I am going to work hard for you. My first presidential act will be to fill this pit, I declare. The crowd cheers. As my friends enjoy my victory party, Ben says, I knew you could do it. The pit will be filled in no time. But I've got to ask, are you ready for what's next? I look around at my friends and think about the future and say, I am. All right, there is a Sweetums booth selling candy. There's Bobby and his security guard, Ralphio, and Mona Lisa. This character, which I believe is Diane, and Perd again with a waffle. There's Ann Perkins and Chris. They end up together on the show. There's Andy performing a mouse rat song. There's the little caged mouse or rat. Whichever it is on the stage that was on the find list. There's April, of course, looking admiringly at Andy. They end up together on the show. Ron Swanson, of course, building something. Leslie Knope writing Lil Sebastian. Ben, they end up together on the show. A JJ Diner's booth selling waffles. There's Tom with his DJ Roomba and his waffle. There's Donna, Jerry, and Craig, their waffles. And that is the end. Real quick, I wanted to pop in with my face and discuss what we think should be next. I think I did this in last year's video. I'm still thinking Friends has to be high on the list. Gilmore Girls could be fun. Maybe. I don't know if Gilmore Girls would even be in the running. I have never seen Seinfeld. I want to, but I have to think that could be a show that's considered. Some people might want Big Bang Theory. I never watched the show, but that's a really popular one. I'm not sure if they're only doing NBC shows or not. I guess we'll find out. I don't know if Frasier's big enough. It was a very popular show, but I'm not sure Frasier would be on that list, but I grew up watching it with my dad, and I loved it. I'm sure there's some I'm forgetting, like really good. Golden Girls, maybe. That could be interesting. I'd love that. What would you guys like to see next? Leave your suggestions down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed that first look and read through. I will leave all the necessary links down below. As always, if you make a purchase because of my video, I would really appreciate if you would write in the notes section, Lauren Michele from YouTube sent me. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that red button down below to subscribe and become a member of my YouTube family. Also, click the bell to turn on your notifications. I will see you in my next video. Bye!